Okay, and we're back. Um, I think I am going to call this Armchair Conversations because I kind of want to just kind of relax and talk. At some point, maybe I'll be more the professional motivational speaker type, but I kind of like putting my little elbow in the chair and putting my little finger up here and talking to people. Um, let's talk about success. What is it? What is it really? I mean, people do talk about all kinds of things and they say it's success. Um, but I think that we'll start on this vein. Success to me has to be something that starts with you. You have to decide what it is that success means to you specifically. And that goes along with a whole bunch of bigger things that we'll talk about some other time, like finding your purpose in life, which I think you have more than one purpose in life, but we'll get to that another time. I think um, that what you decide as success is. I don't think that anybody else can tell you what it is. They can help you to clarify what you decide, but I don't think they can tell you what it is. Um, and you can't make it too difficult to be okay. Um, let's talk like this. My idea of success, um, I have a bunch of different ideas, but the ones that come to mind right now are I want to become a really good speaker and be able to enjoy what I'm doing and have other people enjoy it too. Um, money is definitely something that's in there. Um, I don't know how much I want the fame part where like everybody knows your name and you can't go anywhere without being recognized. There are days when that's fun, but from people I know that actually, have some notoriety, there are days when it's not. And even just living in a small town here in West Virginia, I'm definitely already of the understanding that because there are times when I can't go anywhere without somebody knowing who I am. And on days even when I just don't want to be bothered, just want to be quiet and still to myself. Sometimes you just can't do that. Um, but back to the original thought, it's what it means to you. To you, success might be being the best garbage man you can be. Or success might mean to you being the person who sold the most shoes, or has the biggest arms in your gym, or wins a bodybuilding competition. That's a subject that's very near and dear to me because I've always really enjoyed the things that bodybuilding had to offer me too. Uh, but your idea of success is going to be yours and yours alone, and nobody has the right to tell you that it's not success because it takes all kinds in this world to get things done and to be around and move around. And I don't think that any successes are not important. I think, you might want to make the best pen in the world, or you might want to make the best scissors. That is just as important as somebody who wants to end world hunger, in my opinion, because every piece of the puzzle works together. So, let's talk about success in a different way. So, what is it to you? Define it. Say, hey, this is what I want to be successful. Number two, do not make it a rolling target. Um, and I'll clarify that right now, but there is a time when you can make a rolling target, but that's only after you've kind of developed yourself to a different level. But don't make it a rolling target, meaning this. I remember hearing a story Tony Robbins was talking about a guy who totally thought he was a failure because his idea of being a success was making $4 million a year and he was only making two. Really? So make it a little easier to be successful because every success doesn't have to be monumental. Um, it's like people that do Al-Anon. There was a thing there where they say, just don't take a drink today and ask me tomorrow. Is that not a success? You didn't take a drink today. That's success. Okay, it doesn't have to, every one of your successes doesn't have to be like this monumental rocket to the moon type deal or I saved the world yesterday. Um, that shit's in the movies and that's very nice to see, but every success in your life isn't going to be like that. Sometimes they're going to be small ones, and the small ones over time build confidence in achieving the bigger ones. So, you know, give yourself a pat on the back if you didn't eat that piece of cake today that, you wanted, but you knew that you shouldn't have if you're like dieting for a contest or whatever. Um, give yourself a pat on the back if you didn't cut somebody off in traffic today when you wanted to, or you said something kind when you'd rather have said something not so very nice to somebody who was being a jerk. Um, give yourself a pat on the back for things as simple as opening the door for somebody, or smiling and saying hello. Good morning, how are you? When you'd rather not say anything to anybody. Those are successes too, and they build on each other to help you get to the bigger ones that you may really want to celebrate and say, wow, I did this great thing. Because to me, it's the little things hammered out over time, and Jim Rohn says that too, in his business talks. It's the little things hammered out over time that can yield better results. Um, I like Will Smith's talks very much because he talks about hours and hours of beating up on your craft to get somewhere. Um, it's not the highlight reels that are the thing. It's all the hours in the gyms and the labs and the training that leads up to the successes. And most people don't get to see that part because even in like a Rocky movie, you only get a montage for maybe 15, 30 minutes tops. Okay. And normally not even that long because actually they have rules about how long fight scenes and can be and montages can be without some kind of a break. Um, Another subject. But you don't always see the highlight reels as the culmination of the hours of beating up on your craft, the 5 a.m. runs, the doing the right things to further your goal when nobody's looking. Because I definitely believe in dancing when nobody's looking. I definitely believe in dancing when they are. I believe in doing things the same in public as you would do them in private. Because to me, it makes no, you're not, I don't see success as going out here and doing things publicly in front of people and then privately you suck, okay, and you're an ass and you don't treat people well and you're not good, okay. I don't want to show you that and then go home and be a beast in not a good way toward my family, my friends, my significant other. Okay, no, 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 no. You have to grow and you have to become better. And to me, that's part of what success is. Now, success for some people might be something a little more negative, or it might be something a little more violent, or whatever it may be, because each of us has our ideas about what we want to be in this world, and we're all important parts of it. But it's just something I wanted to talk about today. So one, celebrate them all, no matter how small, because each one builds on the next one. Two, don't make a rolling target. Okay, don't get to where you said you would feel successful at, and then make it bigger, and then don't even take the time to celebrate where you've gotten to. Um, that's something that's kind of like a definite talk for one day when we sit down and we're sitting here chilling, because there are a lot of people that they'll achieve a thing, but because the inside's not right, they don't feel prosperous, they don't feel successful, they don't feel like things are good enough. Then not only will they roll the target to something beyond where they're at, they won't celebrate their successes, and they'll give themselves an excuse to call themselves a failure, tell themselves they're not good enough. People are going to do that to you enough on their own. You definitely don't need to be doing it to yourself. Okay. Um, my grandma used to say, you know, they talked about Jesus and he was the Son of God. Now, what makes you think they weren't going to talk about you? Um, that would always kind of help me a little bit because it made me laugh a little to not take one, not take it all so seriously, and two, it kind of reminded me that there are going to be times no matter what you do, people are going to tell you you're not successful. They're going to tell you you're not good enough. They're going to tell you God knows what. Okay. You have to be wise enough and smart enough to understand that Everything builds on itself. The little successes are good and they make you good enough. And even if you fail, you're still good enough. But that's another talk too. Um, but those are just things I was thinking about when I started thinking about success. Because success to me is the thing that's going to feel good to you when you're done. Or when you're in the process, because some things will never be done. Like self-development, it's never done. You can always find something else to be better at, to try to practice with, to grow with, to be more with, always. Because you're not perfect, you're never going to be perfect, but you are good enough. But success to me, when it comes to development, is the ongoing process and the joy of enjoying the journey. Um, So, that's my definition. Now, what is yours? Go find out what your definition is of success. Starting with the little things all the way up to bigger things, because they do build on each other. And find, if you've never done it before, find some little easy things to be successful about, to feel good about. Because there are people who are just as happy being able to stand for the first time in months after an accident as people who won the lottery yesterday, or who closed $1 million deal, or who changed the world, or got 1,000 hits on their YouTube. Okay, all of them are just as valid, and they all feel just as good if you let them be. So define what success is to you. Figure out what you need to do to feel better about yourself and about your contribution, because it's all valuable, even the negative. People don't always like that, by the way. They don't like the idea of serial killers being just as valuable as healers. But we need them all to create the polarity that makes the world flow. Um, Another conversation. So anyway, define what success is to you. Define what it's going to take to get there. Some of it anyway. Figure out what things you've done today that were successful, that make you feel good, that let you know that you did something positive. Again, not life shattering. Just enjoy your successes, no matter how small, and let them build on the successes for the next day, or the next thing that you try, to become better and to enjoy your life, so that you can then spread that out and around, so that we can change the face of the world. So I challenge you to figure out what success is for you, and to appreciate the smaller successes that culminate in maybe the bigger dream that you have. Until then, I thank you, and I appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye.